Hello, chat, and welcome back to another interesting episode of Plants vs. Zombies Fusion. The reason this episode is so interesting is because I might die in real life. No, it's not that serious, but I woke up. Let's talk about this. And here's the benefit. Like I said, we're doing the pre-voiced over thing again, where the gameplay has already happened, but I'm voicing over it after the fact. So you could just watch the gameplay, or you could just not watch the gameplay and you could just listen to me talk, or you could do both. That's the cool thing about these. It's a format. It's a format that I actually kind of like, and it's kind of cool. So here's the thing. Let's talk, right? I because like we're doing the thing again, right, where we do this format and we only kind of talk about the game as it's happening, sort of, but more so it's about just like communicating in general, you know. So like I said, again, I'll probably not be talking about the game itself too much unless, you know, some interesting stuff happens and whatnot. But let's talk. All right, let's just cut to the fucking chase, right? About 2 days ago, I had a slight toothache in this one tooth that's in my mouth, and this one particular tooth in my mouth is kind of loose, not like super like, oh, I'm gonna fall out right now and you better get me removed, not like that kind of loose. But it's still, you know, loose. It's a little bit loose, right? And it was irritating me a bit, and for some stupid ass reason, I decided, hey, let's just irritate it more. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I did, but I was just kind of like me and my fucking ADHD ass shit. Just the need to always constantly be doing something. I fucking like probably pushed on it or some shit. I don't know what I did exactly. But yeah, bad time. And so it ended up hurting a little bit, and that night, still only hurting a little bit at this point, that night I took 2 acetaminophen, right? And it was fine because it wasn't really hurting that bad. So I just took 2 acetaminophen. And I went to bed. And then I woke up the next day, and it is hurting bad. Like, bad. And I didn't take anything for the first half of the day. I worked 12 to 8. And I didn't take anything for the first half of the day. At all. Like, no medication, no nothing. Well, there is one thing, and I'll get to that I did take, and I'll get to that, but for the first half of the day, I took basically nothing, right? My tooth was in severe pain. Not, okay, that makes it sound like I was, like, about ready to cry, and at certain moments, it was kind of that bad, but it wasn't like, oh, I just forcefully ripped my tooth out of my jaw, and I'm like Tom Hanks in Castaway. You remember, any of you have seen Castaway, that one scene where he like uses a rock to knock his tooth out because of how bad it's hurting him? So he uses a rock to knock his tooth out, and he fucking ends up passing out from blood loss and from pain, from pain. He passes out from pain, and he like hits his head against the side of a rock or something. And every time I watch that scene, I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, oh, it's an awful scene. It really is. Like, great movie. Fucking, like, seriously, god damn, I can't imagine the pain. So it's like, I wasn't like that, you know. I wasn't Tom Hanks Castaway, hit my tooth out with a rock pain, but it was hurting, right? And it was hurting. So at 2 o'clock, which is when I took my first break, 2 hours into my shift, I got this thing. It's this bottle. It's a very, very small bottle of benzocaine. and it comes with a bunch of tiny swabs, and the idea is you're supposed to, by the way, I should have mentioned this first. Sorry if I'm talking weird, like I think I don't know if I even mentioned this part. I don't think I mentioned this. So my face is swollen. My face is swollen, actually, really, for real right now. We'll get to that. But yeah, and also I have a compress on it, cold compress. You know, I got a cold towel on it to stop swelling a little bit. Yeah, so, you know, it's not insanely bad, but it's a valid enough amount of pain that I needed to get something, so I bought benzocaine. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to numb that area so you just don't feel anything. You just don't feel anything. You're just numb. And it gave me that numbing feeling, right? And you know the numbing feeling. If you've ever had a filling done, if you've ever had your wisdom teeth removed especially, which is a thing that I can say that happened to me recently, a couple months ago. What am I doing at this point? Am I just... okay. I was gonna say, because I was worried I was gonna be doing the symmetry thing again. No. So yeah. You know that numbing shit, right? Like, it just completely numbs that area. And that's what this essentially is. It's a tiny bottle that you can buy just in the store for tooth numbing, you know, pain relief. It's for immediate pain relief. So I bought that. I tried it. Very small amount, and I cannot stress to you how small it was, right? Because this is some serious, it's a numbing shit, right? This is very serious, so I made sure to put the smallest amount possible. And it did not work. It did not work. In fact, not only did it not work, it made it worse. The pain, because what happened is I had that numbing feeling that you get when you go to the dentist. I got that feeling exactly, but the pain did not stop. So it was just this tingling, numbing sensation, but also with pain. Which, like, what the fuck did I even purchase this for? I was so pissed off because it was like, now not only am I in pain, but I've got this horrible numbing sensation that isn't actually working as a numbing for my pain. So I was pissed. But up until that, like, that was the only medication I took at that point, 2 hours into my shift. Then, come say 4 hours into my shift, I finally decide, hey, maybe it's a good idea if I take, like, 2 ibuprofen. So I do. 4 hours, maybe even a little bit longer than that. 4 hours into my shift, though, I take 2 ibuprofen. Guess what? It helps. It actually helps. Holy shit, it helps. Right? Insane. Great. Good. Good news. The pain stopped. Well, there was no swelling at this point, but the pain stopped. Good news, right? Then, right before I leave my shift, it starts to sort of, just a tiny bit, just the smallest amount, it starts to act up again. So I'm like, okay, so I can deal with the other half of my day, let me just take two more, like, this is hour 8, like, I'm literally ready to head out the fucking door. Let me just take 2 more ibuprofen so that can deal with me the rest of the night, right? Is what I'm thinking. So I do that. And it, for the most part, it did exactly that. It helped me for the night. But not really, because here's what happened. Is I get home, like I said, it's working at this point. I eat dinner, it's working at this point. You know, I relax, it's working at this point. And then I decide to go to bed. Right? Like, you know, we're talking 11 a.m., not a.m., Jesus Christ. 11 p.m., you know, midnight, and I'm going to bed now. And then the pain starts again, and it's coming back just as bad as it was earlier in the day. So what do? First thing I do is I take 2 more acetaminophen, which is if you remember, the drug that I took the first night it hurt when it wasn't really that bad. So I take 2 acetaminophen. And then I also use some more of that benzocaine. I try it again, see how it works. The benzocaine, again, does not work. It does the numbing shit, but it does not stop the pain. It's just now I have the numbing shit and pain. So I decide at this point, fuck that, I'm never using any more of that again. And I don't, for the rest of this story, I don't use that anymore, and I never will. But I want to stress that it is the smallest amount of benzocaine, and I say that because my face is swollen right now, and it can't be an allergic reaction from that, for multiple reasons, which we'll get to. Yeah, so I do the numbing shit. Again, doesn't help the pain, but well, no, it doesn't help the pain, and it just gives me the numbing sensation while the pain is still there. Awful. Fucking awful. And then, but the acetaminophen, right? I'm thinking, okay, well, that'll do something. So I wait 20-30 minutes after taking the 2 acetaminophen. It has not done anything. It has not done anything at all. So what I do at that point is I take 2 more ibuprofen. Because the ibuprofen that I took at work came from we have a medicine drawer at work where, you know, if you, God forbid, you need medicine for whatever reason, we have medicine at work. And the ibuprofen came from there. And so I took 2 while I was at work, and then I took 2 home with me in case I needed it. And thank God I did. Because the acetaminophen that I took, I wait 20-30 minutes. It does not do anything at all. And I'm even looking up at this point, you know, is acetaminophen, like, not worth it? Is ibuprofen better in terms of this? Like, what? I'm literally looking up at this point, like, why is it doing this? And I did find out that ibuprofen technically is better, but they also say you can combine the 2, like a combination of acetaminophen and ibuprofen is fine. So it's not like an overdose reaction. The swelling is not like an overdose reaction to that either. But I was worried, right? I was worried. I took the 2 acetaminophen, and then 30 minutes later, I'm like, fuck this. I can't deal with this pain anymore. I'm taking 2 ibuprofen. What the hell am I doing at this point in the game? Holy shit, what am I doing? Oh, symmetry is everything in Plants vs. Zombies. What am I doing? I literally just clicked the trophy. Okay. So I'm like worried at this point, right? Because I'm like taking 2 acetaminophen and 2 ibuprofen. Like my brain is like, that's bad. I shouldn't be doing this, even though it's probably fine, right? Even though that fucking I look it up and it says like, hey, this is a thing you can do. Don't worry about it. Like it's okay. Despite that, I look up and you know it's fine, but I'm still worried at this point. So my dumbass literally recorded like a mini will on my phone. That's not a joke. I was like, hey, listen, if I die in my sleep tonight, I want you to know it's because I took 2 acetaminophen and 2 ibuprofen. That's literally here. I can play it for you right now. Which is, I realize, not fucking something to worry about at all. But let me...
My teeth are hurting like fucking crazy. So I'm gonna take, I took 2 headache extra strength and they didn't do jack shit. I know, like, oh well, it's for headaches, not teeth, but it's for general pain in total. It says toothache on there, that's the thing that it says, and it has done nothing. Literally nothing at all. I took 2 of them, they're extra strength, it's done nothing. So I've got 2 acetaminophen, ibuprofen, and I don't know, like, I think you're not supposed to mix those 2 together. Or like, you don't take too many of them in a certain time frame or whatever. Point is, if I don't wake up tomorrow and I die in my sleep, that's why. It's because I overdosed on painkillers.
I literally say that. I literally said...
My tooth is killing me. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of do. In broad terms, I do, but in short general terms, I don't know why now. And it hurts like a motherfucker, so I'm going to take 2 ibuprofen now. Even though I already took 2 acetaminophen or whatever. So yeah, again, if I die, it's because I overdosed on painkillers accidentally. Not intentionally, completely accidentally, so oopsies. It fucking hurts. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, or the rest of the week, or the rest of fucking forever. How long is this gonna last?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't even open my mouth all the way fully. It hurts.
That should have been a sign. That should have been a sign. The fact that I couldn't open my mouth fully. That should have been a sign at that point. Anyways, at that point in the video, I go more into, like, you saw how I literally said in that. You have to remember, it's like 1 in the morning at this point when I'm recording that. Not right now, but when I'm recording that video you just heard, it's like 1 in the morning. So I'm like kind of out of it, but also not out of it, fully. So I can't excuse my stupidity in thinking that you can accidentally overdose on a couple of painkillers. Has that happened? I mean, I'm sure it has, but not in the way that, like me, a 23-year-old, like, relatively healthy male, not, the greatest health, but relatively healthy individual, just accidentally overdosing because they took a couple of painkillers. Like, I don't think that happens. But my dumbass was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die in my sleep tonight, so let me just record a video and saying, explaining why I died in my sleep. I'm paranoid like that sometimes. Thankfully I didn't die in my sleep, but I woke up and it could have been better, I can tell you that, So I wake up, we finally get to today. We finally, almost 20 minutes into the video, we get to today, right? I wake up, the entire left side of my face is, and still is, as recording this, swollen. Just swollen to fuck and back. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. So I call off work because it's so bad that I don't know if I'd be able to function at work. I really don't. So I'm like, as much as I don't want to do this, I gotta fucking call off work. I gotta. Because fuck me if I'm going to work with a horrible toothache and my face being swollen. Yeah, I don't think so. I gotta call off work. So I do. And that's why you're getting this recording right now, even though I was supposed to be at work. You're getting this now because I called off because my face is swollen. I'm probably gonna go to urgent care later. I can't right now, but I'm probably going to later at some point. I don't know. So yeah, we get to today. But here's my thing, right? So I explained to you the medicine course and everything that occurred there, and I told you the full story, everything that happened. This face swelling, it is not an allergic reaction, and I know it's not, and I can tell you why. First of all, like I said, the benzocaine thing, the numbing shit that just did not work for fuck all, and just sucks, and, you know, fucking is pissing me off, just thinking about it, about how little it worked. The benzocaine shit, you know, that's the type of shit that, you know, you get at the dentist office. They give that shit to you. You know, they numb you with that shit, and if I ever would have had any, like, sort of allergic reaction to that shit, I think I would have known by now. 'Cause I have had fillings, I have had, like I said, my wisdom teeth removed recently. You know, that shit, I didn't die, you know, I wasn't breaking out into hives or anything. So, I have no allergic reaction to that. And also, like I said, I took that earlier in the day. 2 hours into my shift, I took that. So if I were to have an allergic reaction to that, admittedly, yes, it did not have the effect it was supposed to have on me. Like, it didn't... That is to say, it did not fucking work. But it did not cause any allergic reaction, right? And if I were to have had an allergic reaction to it, I would have noticed at some point, you know, 2 hours into my 8-hour shift, I think I would have known. So it could not have been that caused it. And as for the acetaminophen, obviously, by itself, it wasn't that caused it. As for the ibuprofen, by itself, it wasn't that caused it. I don't know if there's such a thing as having an allergic reaction to mixed drugs specifically. Maybe that is a thing, I don't know. But the way I see it right now, it just could not have been an allergic reaction. This is coming from the tooth pain. This is coming from just whatever the fuck is going on in my teeth right now. That's why my face is swelling. Right? It has to be. And I'll find out more later, ideally. But right now, I got a cold towel on my face, and with some ice and shit. Which is why, if the audio has been a bit muffled and shit, I apologize. It's because I'm literally pressing my left side of my face with a ice pack wrapped in a towel. So I'm sorry. So that's my story, don't wear it out. Yeah. So it's an interesting episode of Plants vs. Zombies Fusion. How did you enjoy that story? Was it good? Do you want more stories like it? Do you want me to share more stories of my pain in the future? I can do that. I've got a couple of good ones. They make for good stories. I fell off of a banister once when I was a kid. I could share that story. It might be entertaining. I don't know. Oh, holy shit. I'm looking at my Streamlabs, and literally someone just followed. Well, not just followed, but 15 hours ago someone followed. So that's cool. Thanks, yeah. Bricklebork is their name on Twitch. Thank you for following 15 hours ago. That's weird. Like, it's weird to me for someone to follow me when I'm offline, because number one, how did you find me when I'm offline? And number two, what made you decide to follow me when I'm offline? that's weird to me. But yeah, thank you for the follow. I don't know if you're watching this. Probably not, but whatever. So anyways, I did mention in the last episode of this that I was working on a Breaking Bad video essay. I have not worked on that at all, like even researching it or anything. But in my brain, I've got a lot of ideas for it, and I think, hey, now that I have a day off, I think, in fact, no, I will, after recording this, probably work on that. At least drafting it and drafting my ideas down and all that shit. But I did say in the last episode of this, hey, take a guess on what scene it is I'm analyzing, and nobody did, which is fine. I didn't expect anyone to, but I did say that, and I said, hey, I will tell you in the next video what the scene is that I'm analyzing. So it's the next video, let me tell you. But before I tell you, I do want to say, there was someone in the comments section, because I put Saul Goodman in the thumbnail for that video, and someone in the comments section who I don't think is subscribed to me was like, I see Saul Goodman, I instantly click. So I'm like, alright, fair bet, I'm putting Saul Goodman in the bottom right corner of all of my videos from now on. Like, if that's what gets you to click, then fuck it, he's gonna be there forever now. So if the thumbnail for this video has Saul Goodman in it, then you know why now. But I did say I would tell you what scene it is that I'm analyzing, and so I will. Ooh, but first, yes, I'm gonna cuck you. These plants in this game are so fucking powerful. They are insanely powerful. Like, look at the HP, right, for that one thing, and then it's just insane. It's insane. It's so good. It's so good. Like, that damage is crazy. Sorry. I got distracted. I got distracted by the gameplay footage that I'm supposed to be voicing over, that I have not really talked about the gameplay at all during this episode. But that's why this format is interesting, right? Because it can go one of two ways. We can talk about the game the whole time, or we can talk about my pain and suffering, and that's just as fun, I think. So the scene, no further ado, it's the scene from Better Call Saul where, and you still have an opportunity to guess if you want. If you haven't seen the last video of this, you still have an opportunity to guess right now before you keep watching. But it's the scene in Better Call Saul where oh, and spoilers, obviously. Mega spoilers. Skip like 5 minutes if that's the thing you care about, and if you haven't seen the series, I genuinely think you should watch it and skip all this shit. But like skip 5 minutes. We won't be talking about it that long. It's the scene in Better Call Saul where it's at the very end of the series. It's in the last episode, and Walter White is there, and they're in the basement together. It's a flashback to Breaking Bad. It is a flashback to Breaking Bad in that same scene where, you know, right at the end of Breaking Bad, where Walter White and Saul Goodman, they're in the basement together, and it's, like, you remember the scene in Breaking Bad where, Walter White is like, he does the "we're done when I say we're done" thing, which he did earlier to Saul in the series, except at this point his cancer is so like insanely, it's back, his cancer's back and it's hitting him hard. So when he tries to do it this time, he says like "we're done when I say we're done," except he breaks into a huge coughing fit, and Saul Goodman is like, "Yeah, we're done." That whole section, right? Except in Better Call Saul, there is a flashback to that scene that shows additional stuff that is not shown in Breaking Bad. And it's Walter White, and he is, you know, trying to fix like a light or like a fire, you know, a pilot light or some shit, like a heater or something. and he's like just going crazy. He's crazy pissed off, and Saul Goodman is like, hey, what would you do if you had a time machine? And Walter White, he gets so pissed off because he's like, a time machine? You're talking to me about theoretical physics and black holes? You're talking, stay in your lane, right? That whole scene. But he says something at the end of that scene, right? And he says, like, because they go into talking about regrets, and Walter White's regret is the company that he left, that he says, you know, he was manipulated into leaving, of course, but we know that's not true, because Walter White has a massive ego, so he's a prick, right? So we know that he's just, you know, he's telling us a version of the story that simply is not true, but he believes is true because of his ego. And that's his biggest regret at this point in the series. After everything's went down, his biggest regret is that he still left that company. Not all of the meth shit that he did, getting his family, you know, in trouble, and like all that shit. No, he still says at this point in the series that his biggest regret is that fucking company, which insane. And then Saul Goodman says that his regret was like he pulls some shit out of his ass, like, oh, a slip and fall that I did in back when I was a kid. I did a slip and fall scam where I hit the ice real hard and put myself through bartending school because of it, because of how hard I hit the ice. You know, he did a scam, right? He did a scam. And his regret that he says is that he wish he didn't do that, because he still feels the clicking to this day, because the pain is still there from that scam that he did. And then Walter White walks up to him and says, so you were always like this. Which, that line, so you were always like this, fucking is crazy to me. Is crazy to me to be coming from Walter White, of all people. Like, what? And especially, let's talk about this, because this is why I'm making a video essay on this, because I've never seen anyone go into detail about this. Especially after the fact where he has literally just said that his biggest regret in life is this stupid ass company that he had like been a part of when he was in college, that he willingly left because of his own ego. And still at this point in the series, after cooking meth, putting his family in danger, on the run from the law, his biggest regret is that shit. And then he has the balls to say to Saul Goodman that you were always like this. Like, you literally just exposed to us, to the whole world, that the only thing you care about is yourself. You don't care about your family. You literally just verbally exposed to us that your biggest regret is not putting your family in danger, is not everything that has just happened, is something that you could not let your ego let go of. You know, that's your biggest regret. And I've never seen anyone talk about this, because I feel like people, they see that and they see that scene and they take that line and they, you know, they think of it, it's a comedic scene almost. And it is, in a way, it is a comedic scene, because, you know, we know that Jimmy is this, you know, he's a scammer, right? He's Slippin' Jimmy, that's what he is, right? And he's been like that since he was a kid, so we know that. So that's why it's like a comedic in a way. But when I first watched that, it was not comedic to me at all. And I see people react to this because I watch reactions, yes I do. And I watch Better Call Saul reactions, and every person I see react to that scene, they laugh. they laugh at that scene where he says, "So you were always like this." They laugh at it. And you know, they're like, "Oh yeah, he was always like this." And to me, when I first saw that, I was like, that's a traumatic scene. That's you know, like, that's awful, because we know he wasn't always like this, and he didn't have to be like this. This is what he became because of the way that he was raised, because of the people he was raised around, the people that didn't believe in him, that didn't respect him, that, you know, that's why he's like this. And we know that because we just saw it. We spent the whole series watching that. And you know, so it's I always saw that as like a really dramatic scene and shit, because we know that he did not have to be like this. And he may not have been like this if certain other things went in certain other ways. And then also you add that to the fact that Walter White is the guy telling you this, the guy who just exposed that his only care in the world was himself, always, from the beginning. He only cared about himself, and he's exposing that right in front of us. And then he has the gallbladder to say that Saul Goodman was always like this. Right? Like, it's so that's why I'm doing a fucking video essay on that scene, because I've never seen anyone talk about that, and I've never seen anyone talk about the way that it is. Not only is it extremely hypocritical from Walter White's perspective, from Walter White's part, is it extremely hypocritical, but it's also sad because we know that Jimmy didn't have to be like that. You know, he was raised the way that he was raised. He did not have to end up like this. And he may not have ended up like this if he just had the right people that believed in him and was by his side, you know? So that's why that's the scene that I'm choosing to do a video essay on, that I'm going to literally work on as soon as I get done recording this. And I'm going to... beep! Okay, right here, if you're skipping the video to right here, because I probably put a warning in the actual video edit saying, hey, skip to blank for avoiding Breaking Bad / Better Call Saul spoilers, and I hope you did do that if you have not seen the series. I truly hope you did, because just fucking trust me, okay? I understand it's been like 15 years since, like, Breaking Bad started in 2007. It's almost been 20 years. Better Call Saul started in like 2014, I think? I don't really know exactly. But yeah, I get it. I get it's been a long time, right? But trust me, if you haven't done yourself the favor of watching both of those series, in whichever order you prefer, by the way, because you can watch in whatever order you prefer. I don't think it breaks the narrative at all, despite what order you watch it in. It's a great, both of them are great series. I prefer Better Call Saul more. I think it's better than Breaking Bad in my opinion, and I have my reasons for that, but I won't go into it because we just did a whole discussion. So I probably put a warning on the video, like, hey, skip to here if you don't want Breaking Bad spoilers. And if you have not done yourself the favor of watching Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, please do. I mean, seriously. Like, I was late to it. I had, and also, too, when I watched Breaking Bad, I had a lot of stuff already spoiled for me. And I mean, a lot of stuff. Like, a lot, right? That I already had spoiled for me. And I watched it, and I still had a fantastic time. Because you don't know how they get to this point. You don't know all the events leading up to it. You don't realize, you don't know, how did we get here? Like, why is the fact that happened important? You know? You don't understand the context behind it. And once you do understand the context behind it, you realize why it is important, and why It matters. Even though I had certain scenes spoiled for me, I was still, like, you know, shocked by them because of the impact that it has at that point. So yes, go watch those two series. Don't look anything up. But even if you are spoiled on it already, on certain scenes already, still watch them, because it still has an impact regardless. Two vastly different topics we've talked about this episode. We've talked about my insane teeth pain, and then we've talked about Breaking Bad. Like, how do those correlate? I don't know. How much time we got? We got 3 more minutes left of this. Thanks, if you were here the whole video, then thank you so much for being here. Yeah, shit, how do I fill out this time? If you watched this whole thing, thank you so much, and still, please, 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 dear God, please, leave a comment on this video and let me know if you enjoy this format of me talking over pre-recorded gameplay, or if you think this is dog shit. Like, be honest with me, tell me the straight up truth. I want to know how you feel about this, because this is a format that I kind of am enjoying. But if people don't enjoy it, then I understand, and I won't do it anymore. So yes, please, 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 I'm begging you, regardless of what your opinion is, whether it's I like it, I don't like it, or I'm not, even if your opinion is I am, you know, I don't care. If your opinion is I don't care, then let me know that too. Let me know that you don't care in the comments, please. I'm not doing this for the engagement on YouTube, although admittedly that would help. But no, I'm doing this because I genuinely want to know what people's impressions are on this format that I'm doing. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. We got 2 minutes left. Like I said, I'm just gonna probably just go chill and, like, hope that this tooth pain goes away soon, and this swelling goes away soon. And if it doesn't, and if you don't hear from me for a couple of weeks or a couple of months or ever again, then you know why. It's because I died. Like I said earlier in the video, it's because I overdosed on painkillers accidentally in one single night. Because that's a thing that a normal, healthy man can do, right? I can't believe I actually, like, recorded a fucking, like, mini will. I really did that. That's real. You heard it in this video. That's insane. I'm a crazy, crazy guy. Alright. Chat, thank you so much for being here. And listening to all my rambling and ranting and raving. That's very kind of you. So as usual, have a good day, have a good night. Wherever you are, please have a good life. Please have a better day than I'm having right now with all my tooth pain and all that shit. Please, please have a much better day than that. And I'll see you in the next episode of Plants vs. Zombies Fusion. Thank you so much for being here with me. This has been actually really fun, and I've really been enjoying this format so far, so I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much. Peace out. Bye!